I run an AI native coding school, so this may seem like a bad business decision, but I don't think that every young Malaysian should learn how to code, and I definitely don't think that everyone should become a software developer. For the past few years, the internet has been pushing one very simple story. Technology is the future. Software engineers make good money. You can work remotely, you don't need a traditional background, and therefore everyone should learn coding. It sounds logical. It also makes for a very good advertisement. But after teaching, speaking to and watching hundreds of people try to enter the technology industry, I no longer believe that story is completely true. Now, coding can change your life. It changed mine. But coding is not a guaranteed ticket to a high-paying career. It is not a shortcut, and it is certainly not the best path for everyone. I studied finance, and I didn't grow up believing that I was gonna be a tech guy or to be a programmer. I wasn't the kid who started coding at 12 years old and definitely didn't spend my childhood building computers. My path into technology came a lot later. I was exposed to the world of startups, to the world of venture capital and businesses, and I began to notice something. Almost every ambitious business idea eventually touched technology. If you wanted to reach more customers, technology. If you wanted to launch a product, technology. If you wanted to build something that could serve thousands of people without hiring thousands of employees, technology. I realized that if I wanted to become a founder, understanding technology would give me leverage, and that's why I taught myself how to code. To be honest, at first, coding felt like a superpower back in the days. You know, you could have an idea just in your head, open up your laptop, and slowly turn that idea into something real that you can see in front of you. Nowhere else you could do this. You didn't need a factory, you didn't need millions of ringgit, you didn't need permission from anybody. You could just do it and ship it yourself. You could build a simple product from your room. That possibility was incredibly exciting to me. And yes, learning to code has in fact created a whole world of opportunities to me. So it helped me understand developers, to build products, to communicate technical ideas, and to make better decisions as a founder. And it eventually became part of the reason why I started my company today, which is Sigma School. So I'm gonna be the last person to be telling you that learning coding may not be your path. But I've also seen the other side. I've seen people force themselves to learn coding because they heard software engineering makes good money. They didn't enjoy solving the technical problems, sitting with a bug for 2 or 3 hours, nor did they enjoy breaking a difficult problem down into smaller pieces. They didn't enjoy constantly working on new tools. Basically, they just didn't enjoy the work. They only enjoyed the idea of the outcome, which is having a great salary, maybe working remotely and having a flexible lifestyle. That's what hooked them on. But when the work and the learning became difficult, they thought that something was wrong with them. They would watch another motivational video, buy another course, change programming languages, switch from web development to data science, then switch back from data science to cybersecurity, then switch to AI or project management or digital marketing or whatever seemed the most interesting at that point in time. They kept changing paths because they were searching for the version of technology that would finally feel easier, but the truth was simpler. Maybe coding was never really the right path for them, and that is okay. And this is something that I think we need to say more honestly. Not everyone who struggles with coding needs more discipline. Sometimes they are simply trying to force themselves into a career that does not match their strengths. We would never tell every young person to become an accountant. We would never tell everyone to become a doctor. We would never tell everyone to become a salesperson. But for some reason, because technology is growing, we decided that every young Malaysian should become a developer. That does not make sense. A growing industry still needs different kinds of people to make work. Technology companies don't only hire software engineers, they need a whole broad array of talents outside of software development. They need people who can sell, they need people who can market, they need people who can design, they need people who can understand customers, they need operators, recruiters, project managers, and leaders who simply bring all these people together. Some of the most valuable people that I've worked with could not build an application together on their own from scratch, but they could speak to a confused customer and understand the real problem within 10 minutes. They could take a messy operation and create a clear process for the whole company. They could turn an average campaign into qualified leads. They could speak to potential students of mine, understand their fears and their dreams, help them make a good decision on whatever they should do in their career plan. So those are extremely valuable skills, and businesses pay for valuable skills. Coding is one of them. It is not the only one. The problem is that young people are often told to chase industries by searching up the hottest jobs in the market right now instead of understanding themselves. They hear that AI and tech is growing, so they decide to learn AI. They hear that software engineers are highly paid, so they decide to learn programming. They hear that cybersecurity has a talent shortage right now, so they decide to enter cybersecurity. But they rarely ask themselves the more important question, which is that what type of problems do I enjoy solving? What kind of work gives me energy? What am I naturally better than others? And what kind of pain am I willing to tolerate for a long time? Because every great career has pain. Whatever comes easy is not worth it. Anything worthwhile will come with pain. Coding has pain. pain, sales has rejection, operations has chaos, marketing has a lot of uncertainty, management has a lot of people problems, and entrepreneurship has all at once. You should not choose a career because it looks attractive from the outside. You should choose a game where you're willing to tolerate the difficult paths. So when I was teaching myself to code, there were days when I spent hours trying to understand why something isn't working. One character could literally break the entire application. One misunderstood concept could waste my entire afternoon. The computer did not care that I was tired. There was something about that process that I found strangely satisfying. Not always enjoyable, but very satisfying. I like the feeling of being confused and eventually making everything make sense. That's an amazing feeling. So I really enjoyed creating something from nothing. That told me that coding was useful for my path. But even then, I knew I never wanted to spend my entire life as a software engineer. I wasn't that deep compared to other software engineers. I always wanted to build businesses, and coding was simply just a tool that allowed me to become a better founder. And that distinction matters a lot because you literally don't need to turn every useful skill into your entire identity. You can learn enough coding to communicate with developers. You can learn just enough to prototype an idea. You can learn just enough to automate parts of your job. You can learn just enough to understand what technology can and cannot do. That alone makes you so much more valuable. But that does not mean you need to go all in and become a professional software developer. I believe that everybody in this world should understand technology, but understanding technology and becoming a developer are two vastly different paths. Everyone should look at business problems and ask, how could technology solve part of this? They should at least have that mental framework, a mental model on how to think about these things. That is basic career literacy now, today. In the same way that you do not need to become an accountant to understand money, you do not need to become a developer to understand technology. The people who will do well in the next 5 to 10 years are not necessarily the people who with the deepest technical knowledge. They will be the people who are able to combine technology, another valuable skill. So think a salesperson who's able to use AI to reach customers, to prepare calls, to follow up, or maybe a marketeer who's able to understand data, automate repetitive tasks, or an educator who uses technology to personalize learning, or an operator to build systems. The combination of two skills, your own industry skills and tech or AI, is often more valuable than being another average programmer. We have enough of that. And this has become even more important now because of AI. A few years ago, remembering syntax and how to patch codes together was actually very valuable. You actually needed to know exactly how to write the code. Today, AI can generate all of that in seconds. But that does not mean developers are going to disappear. It just means that the value chain is moving. The valuable person is no longer just a person who just knows how to type code. It is a person who understands the problem well enough that to know what should be built. The person who judges the AI's answer is correct. The person who's able to find a hidden mistake, or to understand a customer, on to make trade-offs, or simply just having someone over there to take responsibilities when something doesn't work, someone accountable. AI makes it easier to generate output, and that's amazing for the world, but it does not automatically give you judgment. And this is why I think that learning coding purely because you heard it pays well is way more dangerous today than it was 5 years ago. If all you can do is produce basic code, you are now competing with machines that are able to produce basic code almost instantly. Your advantage has to come from somewhere deeper, technical judgment, or it could be business understanding, or it could be communication, or it could be just taste on how the product should work. So when someone tells me my child should learn coding and AI because it is the future, I think that's incomplete advice. The better advice is this: your child should understand the future. They should understand technology, yes. They should learn how to use AI. They should develop a valuable skill. They should probably build evidence of that they could solve problems. But whether that skill, software development, it depends really on the person. Some people are built for it, to go very deep into technical depths, and they enjoy the building and the problem solving, the keep going when things break. For those, software development can become an incredible career path. And honestly, Malaysia and the rest of the world still need great engineers, great developers. Companies still struggle to find engineers who are genuinely capable of solving problems and shipping reliable work on time. I know that pain point. That profession is not dead, but the profession is becoming less forgiving to people who entered it because they thought it was gonna be easy money. And that is the distinction. I also think education companies, including mine, have a responsibility to be honest about this. It would be commercially convenient for me to say that everyone should become a developer because the bigger the market, the better for business it would be. But I absolutely do not want someone spending months of their lives and a meaningful amount of money to pursue a career path that might be completely wrong for them. When we speak to potential students, the question should not only be, can this person afford the program? It should also be, does this person actually understand what the work entails? Are they gonna be willing to put in the hours? Do they actually want to build? Are they choosing the right path for the right reasons? Because getting someone to enroll is easier compared to actually helping them build an actual career here. A person can be attracted to the outcome while hating the process required to achieve it. This is where disappointment begins, and I think that this applies beyond coding. Young Malaysians are under enormous pressure to make the correct career decision very early in their lives. The parents want security, the cost of living is increasing, housing feels further away, salaries often feel too low. Social media often show people becoming successful at 23. Everyone feels like they're falling behind. So when a new safe opportunity appears, people rush towards it. First, it started with computer science, then data science, then maybe cryptocurrency, then cybersecurity, and now obviously it's AI. But careers do not work like stock tips. By the time everyone agrees that something is the obvious path, the easiest opportunities may have already been gone. The better strategy is to build rare and useful combination of skills. The more useful your combination is, the less you need to compete as a generic beginner. That is ultimately what coding did for me. It did not turn me into the greatest engineer in Malaysia. But what it did though was it combined my interests and my skills in finance, in education, in startups. And that combination created opportunities that coding alone would never have created. So absolutely no, I don't think every Malaysian, everyone should be learning coding. I think every young Malaysian, they should know how technology changes the way they work, for sure. I think they must become comfortable using modern tools. I think they need to understand AI. I think they need to try to ship something with AI. I think that they should develop proof that they can add value in this world today. But becoming a software developer, I think that's a deliberate career choice. Not like a impulsive reaction to a TikTok video, not a decision made by your parents just because they heard that tech salaries were high and it gave you an easy, comfortable life. Not an escape from a career that you haven't properly explored. Coding is powerful. It's valuable and it can change your life. But coding is not for everyone. And we need to stop pretending that it is.